Let's now take a look at business news. We're going to first look at how Japan's shrinking working age population is affecting the labor situation at many companies. The latest Bank of Japan data suggests that managers feel their companies are understaffed. Rami Melagar joins us now with more from our business desk. Rami, so what kind of figures are we looking at exactly?
Well, Catherine, first of all, there's some big challenges for many companies here in Japan. Let's break down some of the numbers. Now, the central bank's Tankan survey asks managers whether they have enough workers, and the figures indicate that Japanese companies are most short-handed in 25 years. BOJ officials measure the percentage of respondents who report employment as excessive against those who categorize it as insufficient. The index for large companies stood at -15, indicating a labor shortage. The figure is 2 points worse than 3 months ago. Now, the index for smaller businesses was also down 4 points at -28. The index for all companies came in at -25. That's down 4 points. Employers in the restaurant, parcel delivery, and construction industries seem to be especially feeling the pinch. Now, the tightening labor market has forced Japan's leading package delivery firm Yamato Transport to cut some services. And moving company ART Corporation decided to curb the number of orders it receives during its peak season. Japan businesses are looking outside the country to solve a pending employment problem. Now, the country is aging and its population is shrinking. Companies are turning to educated foreigners to fill positions and stay competitive. But as NHK World's John Ledoux explains, it hasn't been easy.
More than 50 companies took part in a recent recruitment event exclusively held for foreigners. Company managers are flocking to recruit high-skilled talent, but are having a tough time.
Everyone wants skilled foreign workers. We're anxious to find the right people.
We're just not able to fill all the positions.
This heavy machinery manufacturer has expanded its business to over 70 countries. It's brought in 2 interns from Indonesia to enhance overseas operations. Raditya Rusmi Putro is an engineer helping expand the company's micro-hydroelectric power generation. Even top educated employees have a difficult time securing working visas. Raditya's application was fast-tracked because his internship was backed by the government. Another challenge is having employees stay longer. In one survey, nearly 20% of businesses reported hires from overseas leaving as they felt disadvantaged in climbing the Japanese corporate ladder. To counter that perception, this company is offering long-term career support. In Aditya's case, he's been permitted to leave the office early to attend graduate school at night.
It's very positive way the company treats us, the learning and the opportunity.
Under the government-sponsored program, an employer is required to cover all of an intern's living expenses, including housing. Even so, this company says the results outweigh the costs.
Our productivity is several times what we anticipated. The changes have been worth it.
Another challenge foreigners face in landing a job in Japan is getting used to how people here do business. This recruitment company is planning to hire, educate, and contract 500 skilled workers from abroad over the next few years. It provides training in the subtleties of working in a Japanese office.
In Japan, we make sure to hold our coat inside out in case the outside is dirty.
The company also organizes a night out once a month. It's a chance to learn from long-term expats about things like resolving conflicts and troubleshooting in the Japanese workplace. An expert says businesses need to educate foreign employees, but also reform management practices.
Management needs to communicate with employees and explain when it can't meet their needs. In the long term, Japan needs to modify its management system, including seniority and lifetime employment.
The struggle to recruit overseas talent is likely to intensify. Businesses that are able to adapt may be the ones best prepared to survive and keep Japan globally competitive for generations to come. John Ledoux, NHK World.
Electronics maker Toshiba's loss is expected to balloon on a temporary basis following the bankruptcy of its U.S. nuclear subsidiary Westinghouse. Now, the firm plans to spin off its mainstay flash memory chip operation, but it will be some time before it sees any gains. Now, Toshiba's main creditor banks are considering helping out the company. Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation, Mizuho Bank, and Sumitomo Mitsui Trust Bank are considering additional support. Toshiba plans to hold a meeting with them to explain the firm's current state. The electronics maker has postponed the release of its earnings report twice because it needed to investigate accounting practices at Westinghouse. The firm is trying to release the report by next Tuesday. Now, the first global financial watchdog based in Tokyo opened on Monday. Japanese officials hope to boost the country's profile as Asia's financial center by hosting the group. The International Forum of Independent Audit Regulators held a ceremony at its permanent home in central Tokyo. Membership includes 52 countries and territories, including Japan and the U.S. In Japan, Toshiba's auditing firm failed to detect accounting irregularities at the struggling electronics maker for years. Ever since, the authorities have been trying to improve the quality of auditing. In March, officials at the Financial Services Agency compiled guidelines for auditing firms to follow. Tokyo stocks opened lower following the losses that we saw on Wall Street. Weak auto sales in the U.S. and a subway blast in Russia are weighing on investor sentiment. A stronger yen is also dragging down shares of exporters. Let's have a look at the figures here. The Nikkei 225 average is currently now at 18,903, down 0.42%. Shares of major car makers like Toyota and Honda are trading lower. Their U.S. sales dropped in March. Now, onto currencies. The dollar sank below the 111 yen level overnight, touching a one-week low. The pair is right now trading at 110.54 to 57. Traders are eyeing the U.S.-China summit talks later this week, which could lead to heightened geopolitical risk. Now, those concerns are fueling demand for the safe haven yen. The Japanese currency also advanced against the euro. The single currency is moving without clear direction against the dollar. And checking on other markets, at this hour in Asia-Pacific, Seoul's Kospi is trading into the negative. Sydney's S&P ASX 200 also down. China markets are closed for a national holiday. And that's it for business news, but I'll leave you with another check on the markets.